Burgess here with Music Marketing TV. Today we're checking out Crystaline. It is a reverb plugin by Baby Audio. We're going to be doing a bit of sound design with it. You may notice there is a reversal control on this reverb, and this opens up some really cool doors. It means that when you play notes, it reverses the reverb tail and goes backwards. So let's take advantage of this a little bit, just to give you hopefully an idea to get a project perhaps jump started. First, I'm going to switch the color because I like the dark theme so much. It looks so nice. Okay, so first off, we need a little bit of a more plucky sound is the idea I'm going down. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the pluck control on Harmor. Just gives us a nice little plucky sound here to work with. And you can already hear this reversal. Oh, it's going to sound so nice. So first off, let's get a chord progression rolling. So let's do a C minor. And let's just do this a bunch of times. And then we'll go down, 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 back up. And we'll make this a bit higher. So there's our chord progression. And we're going to make this in arpeggiation. I'm zooming through this because no reason to spend a ton of time on this part. So this is what it sounds like if we are in pattern mode. So add a little bit of a filter move there, and let's come over here and dial this in just a touch more. So the end on here, let's make this a lot tighter. And right now it's in sync mode. Let's take that off of sync mode and make it just a lot shorter, something in the neighborhood of like below 40. We could go really short, but we want a little bit of time for the ramp. You could also go for a 16th note sync would work. I'm gonna go for slightly off that. And over here, we have a couple of really interesting controls. First off, we've got the shimmer. I'm sort of gonna bring this down here to the 2 kilohertz mark and up to times 6. There's a duck function. We're not going to use this, a ducker function. And what it does is it makes sure that the dry sound will come out over. It'll actually turn down the processes sound. The processed sound will be turned down so that you guaranteed get the dry sound over it. We don't want that. We're going to have that off. We're going to bring the dry wet all the way up. So that's what we get. So it's going to be like a smearing effect. We're going to bring the sparkle up. Just going to do some stuff for our high end. And we've got these room sizes. So we have tiny. And then here's spacey. So what we're going to do is, I think it'd be kind of cool to have this come out of nowhere and then arrive, right? That's the idea. So let's go ahead. Let's put down some notes. Let's say we want our first 8 bars. That's what we want to have happen. On the synth itself, I'm going to feed it a bit of Verb just to get us going here. So a reverb into a reverb. And we're going to automate this so that we start out soft and we slowly build into it. Yeah, see, it comes from nowhere. Something else here that we're going to do is we're going to automate off that Verb over time. I'll bring the decay down. Like so, and then eventually I'll just straight up automate this thing off, like over here somewhere. So we guarantee get rid of the ring. Ring should pretty much be gone here though. So that takes care of the sound coming into Crystaline. Now inside of Crystaline, there's some I learned as I was experimenting. It does not like it when you automate the tempo. I'm not sure if this will ever be changed, but it's something you should know about. So before, I was doing stuff like this where it started out slow and then got faster. But automating the tempo, it did not like that one bit. But it totally is fine with automation. So just so you know, tempo automation, just something to be aware of. We're going to start with a high size, and then we're going to move down. So it's going to get slowly and slowly more clear. So I'm going to automate this, and we're going to bring it down until we're at the smallest size here. So just with that effect alone, and let me detach this window so it stops disappearing every time I push something. I'll put it down here. Here's what we got. So with the reversal function, there is a bit of there's an overlap. I believe it's the buffer trying to figure itself out. I have two ideas on how we might be able to solve this. The first one is if we use a fixed buffer size. This is something that's an FL specific thing, but it might be the variable buffer size is throwing off this process. So I'm going to try that first. If it doesn't work, we can bring in the dry wet to try and compensate for those gaps, because I believe it's just reversing buffer sizes and it needs new information for that. Yeah, so it's some other thing. I don't know. I'm not like a super genius, so I don't know exactly what's causing it. But let's bring down the dry wet some just to have it mixed in. Oh, it is I do know what it is. It is the size it's the size changing. You see that? It happens when the size changes. So we could try and be sneaky about this and layer it in piece by piece with a new baby audio at a different size. So instead of doing this size automation, very interesting. This is gonna start out spacey, and then let's add another one. We only really need two for this effect to be like super pronounced. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna bring this way down. We're gonna bring the modulation, and we're gonna have a similar shimmer setting, also dark theme. And this is gonna be fine. We'll do the sync and have this, way down here-ish. And so this will be the shorter setting. And what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna mix this one off like so, and we'll mix the other one in, and we'll make it sort of an exponential downwards type deal. And this one will start out off and come upwards. So this will allow us to avoid that popping problem that we were having before. And on both of these, we could have the dry wet all the way up again. We no longer need to have them separate. So this should hopefully avoid it. And this will be our in-game one. So this one we'll name Crystalline Finisher, because that's the finisher. Oh, reversal on. Yeah, very nice. So what we're gonna do is let's automate this end time to be a little bit more open, and then we'll close it up as we go. So we'll just create automation clip for this. We'll bring this up a little bit, and then at the end here, we'll have this be like pretty dang low. That's actually really low, but it'll probably be fine. Let's hear this. Let's start right here. And then here, maybe we just drop down to 0. Yeah, and okay, so some additional things we might try. The tone control. We could have this tone start out really bright and slowly get darker, or darker and more bright. We might just leave this as a darker sound. I think that might work a little bit more. And then from here, we do have one option for just an end one that just acts like a regular verb. And we could put this at a small, medium. We'll do medium. We'll make it like really wide because, why not? And this one, we'll use this mostly for the tone. Did I do some tone stuff on that one? I did. We'll do a little bit, but not much. Yeah, let's have this be like long and less sparkly. We'll have this be a darker toned dealio here. And then the rest of this, pretty okay. We'll again have it. I'm being very heavy handed with that, but that's just because that's the way I kind of want the sound to be. And we'll have this not open up quite as much on the filter. And then on this last verb, let's go ahead and let's get a mix. So maybe we'll have this come down, and then it'll be mostly down, and then here it'll open back up. And we'll also do a thing with the chords where we open all the chord voicings up. So maybe we have a bass line get added. So this would start out at a C. You know what, let's just take this line and copy it down like so. And let's move the D up a little bit. And, well, I don't know, let's see. That's actually really cool. You can do some really cool drop stuff with effects like this. But there is some sound design for you. So let's go ahead, let's hear the whole effect together. Again, this is like devoid of any other element. It's specifically just one synthesizer and Crystaline, 3 instances of Crystaline. And there's a workaround, by the way, if you do run across something and you want to use the reverse features. One thing you could do, you could add a third one and get a middle space in there, which could be kind of cool. Also, some interesting ideas here for perhaps some weird polyrhythm type stuff going on. Yeah, here I want to add a bass and some chords and sort of fill in the context a bit more. But this is a pretty cool idea at this point. Very cool sound. And of course, you could do this with any other sound. This is just this particular sound. And we could get more interesting with what we feed into it. Right now, we're feeding into it something that's very constant. But we could have it move around maybe a little bit more erratically, add some higher notes, try changing the waveform as we go. Just a simple movement of a knob could really take it to another level. If you have any questions about this, feel free to let me know. Subscribe and hit that bell icon for future videos, and have a blessed day.